A lot is happening with Overwatch, and I gotta give it to Blizzard. They're doing a lot, right? We got the new map, we got a dating simulator, a text-based dating simulator, and getting certain romantic endings will unlock highlight intros. Like, what? What is going on with Overwatch? But you know what? I love it. I love it all. However, with all that being said, honestly, Blizzard just reworked the game. Tomorrow, the new season drops, and it is fair to say they reworked the game because I feel like no crevice or corner was left untouched. Now, if you want to see every single detail of the patch notes, I recommend you watch CarQ. I recommend you actually click the patch notes. I'll have the source down below so you can go through them. But let's get straight into it. So when I say untouched, I mean even endorsements got reworked. Players can now endorse the opposing team. Finally, it's back. You can also endorse all players in free-for-all game modes. Again, it's back. They've adjusted challenges. They've adjusted game reports. They've adjusted mystery hero changes. They have the Overwatch credits that are coming back, which you guys now know. You can get up to 1,500 credits for free and spend those credits on all the old skins. And hopefully in the future, they'll make it so old, like new skins eventually have categorized in old skins, maybe after 6 months of release time. Then you can buy old skins in your shop with the 1,500 free credits. Only time will tell, but it's great. Overwatch credits are back. The ping system also got updated where you can now press your ability and showcase your cooldown. They have competitive play adjustments where skill tiers and divisions will now adjust every 5 wins instead of or 15 losses, which before was formerly 7 wins and 20 losses. So even competitive got changed. Fantastic. Now I don't know if that's actually enough. Maybe in the future it'll be every 3 wins and then 1 win, back to just give us Overwatch 1 competitive. But anyways, they updated the Overwatch where the workshop editor is now back and they increased the workshop moderation tools. Seriously, it doesn't at every crevice and corner has been touched. Then heroes got updated. This is probably the biggest one because the amount of heroes that got updated is insane. Actually insane. Maximum ultimate charge retained when swapping heroes reduced from 30% to 25%. This is a good step in the right direction, and I will not be surprised if it actually goes down to 20% in the future. The tank role passive has also been changed. The health totals for all tank heroes will be lower when playing any game mode that does not have role queue enabled. This is to balance tanks on a global level, meaning if you're playing tanks in arcade, they're just weaker than in role queue, which makes perfect sense. Since obviously in arcades and non-role queue modes, people are doubling and tripling up on tanks, and it's not very enjoyable as an experience. And they double down here even more because tank, diva, mech base health in role queue modes remains at 350. Mech base health in non-role queue modes has now been reduced from 350 to 200. Doomfist, base health in role queue modes remains 450. Base health in non-role queue modes reduced from 450 to 300. Now, Junker Queen got it a little bit different because hear me out. She also did get the reduction in non-role queue modes to 300, but her base health has been increased by 25. So she now has 25 HP just as a buff to Junker Queen, which is nice. I like little buffs to Junker Queen. She's still a little bit weak. Orissa's base health in role queue modes remains the same at 275. The base health in non-role queue modes goes from 275 to 125. However, augmented fusion driver, damage fall off range reduced from 25 to 15 meters. We also got Ramatra. Ramatra's base health in role queue modes remains the same, but the non-role queue modes from 450 to 300. Obviously, you guys get the pattern. Annihilation, his ultimate, damaging enemies with the ultimate now slows the duration timer instead of indefinitely pausing it, lasting up to 20 seconds. The ultimate cost has also been increased, so overall quite a huge nerf to Annihilation. Like it is almost basically a rework because it no longer lasts indefinitely. Reinhardt got the same health adjustments, but he also got his charge reduced from 8 seconds to 7 seconds. He got his fire strike damage increased from 90 to 100, and then Earth Shatter, the direct hit damage reduced from 250 to 170, and this is to make up, I guess, for the fire strike damage. Kind of interesting. The knockdown duration increased from 2.5 to 2.75, and the ultimate cost increased by 7%. Okay, Rocket Hammer, knockback impulse reduced from 10 to 6. That's kind of interesting. Huh. So he can charge a little bit more and his fire strike does more damage. But interesting nerfs on everything else. Nerfing his ult all around is okay, weird. Okay, I'm kind of intrigued on this one. I'm kind of intrigued. Here's the developer comments. In similar fashion to Roadhog's chain hook combo charges last season, we generally like to avoid heroes in the tank role from killing enemies in one shot. Okay, that's all you need to know. They want to lower out his passive so you can't get like stun insta-killed. That's why. Okay, interesting. Now, Roadhog also got some changes. His whole hog maximum duration increased from 6 to 8 seconds, 2 full more seconds of whole hog. but his ultimate cost has increased by 8%. Sigma, the same idea. All the tanks got the health reduction across the modes, by the way. I'm not going to keep reading them. His Gravitic Flux ultimate cost increased by 7%. That's it. They just nerfed Sigma by making his ult cost more. From there, we got some Winston. Oh, well, the Winston changes are just the health, but then there's also the Barrier Projector. Health reduced from 700 to 650, so they just an overall little nerf to Winston's bubble. Then Wrecking Ball. Base health in Roll Q modes reduced from 600 to 450, blah, 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 blah. But his shield health increased from 0 to 150. Huge. Pile Driver. Cooldown reduced from 10 to 8 seconds. Huge. Ultimate cost increased by 9 seconds. Arming time, however, reduced from 1.5 to 1 seconds. That's actually massive. That's a 33% speed increase to how fast those little mines are ready to explode. Zarya. Base health in the roll Q modes, blah, 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 blah. But Gravitation Surge. Ultimate cost increased by 8%. Overall, just a nerf to her ultimate. Damage roll. Cassidy combat roll. Movement is no longer blocked by enemy player collision. Ooh, interesting. I like that. Peacekeeper. Primary fire fall off range increased from 20 to 25 meters, meaning you can snipe a little bit better. I like it. Junkrat concussion mine. Maximum damage reduced from 120 to 100. Hell yeah. Stop concussion mining. One shot me. Thank you. Thank you. I like this one. May. Blizzard. Ultimate cost reduced by 5%. The first reduction. May gets a little bit of a buff there then. Farah Barrage. Ultimate cost reduced by 5%. Okay, Reaper Death Blossom. Ultimate cost reduced by 8%. Nice. Soldier 76. Heavy Pulse Rifle. Number of shots to reach maximum recoil increased from 4 to 6. Nice. This is to put him more in line with Sojourn. This is obvious. And then the recoil reduced by 12% overall. So yeah, putting him in line with Sojourn. I like it. Sombra, Machine Pistol. Damage per projectile increased from 7 to 7.5. So she does a little bit more damage. I do enjoy that. Well, I mean, when Sombra's too strong, she's annoying, but right now she's too weak, so I can appreciate it. Hack. Health pack hack. Duration increased from 30 to 45 seconds. Wow. Okay, 30 to 45 seconds. So the health pack just gets hacked for 45 seconds straight. Pretty massive, pretty massive. Symmetra's Photon Barrier ultimate cost increased by 10%. Torbjorn Deploy Turret. Turret base health reduced from 250 to 225. I would even want it lower. The Torbjorn turret has been a little bit annoying to play against. Widowmaker base health reduced from 200 to 175, making her more vulnerable. Blizzard wants to address the one-shots. I think they're going to leave Widowmaker's one-shot in the game pretty much forever since it's her only identity, but they're making her a lot more squishy. For the support role, Anna's Biotic Grenade effect duration reduced from 4 to 3.5 seconds. Originally, it was buffed past that. I guess they left her for a little while to deal with Roadhog, but now that Roadhog's been nerfed, they're now reducing Anna. It's something I kept an eye out. I said, will Blizzard nerf Anna since they buffed her a lot? Will they nerf her again once Roadhog gets nerfed? And surely they did. Brigitte Repair Pack. Healing over time reduced from 55 to 50 per second, but applying Repair Pack now instantly heals for 25 health on impact. That burst healing is massive and makes her a way more competent healer in my opinion. Rally ultimate cost reduced by 10%, massive buff. Lucio's Sound Barrier ultimate cost reduced by 7%. And then finally, or not finally, next we have Mercy. It's not final, but Mercy is one of the biggest ones, which is why I naturally said finally. Mercy is huge. Guardian Angel. Cooldown increased from 1.5 to 2.5 seconds. Holding the backwards directional input and canceling the ability with jump now moves 20% slower. This makes her, this lowers her skill ceiling. They nerfed the movement on Mercy quite a lot, which lowers her skill ceiling, and then they kind of tanked her up, which makes her a lot easier to play at the low ranks. Let me explain. The staff. Healing per second reduced from 55 to 45. Healing is increased by 50% for allies under half health. The regeneration passive completely removed, and instead she has an entirely new passive called Sympathetic Recovery. Mercy heals herself for 25% of the healing done with the Caduceus staff. This is hard to explain. Meaning, when she's in her ultimate and she chain heals a bunch of group enemies, she becomes really tanky. It is hard to kill her. So she is much more prioritized on being well positioned and healing in larger groups, especially low health targets with that buff. But this lowers her ceiling a lot because previously, if you knew how to maneuver around as Mercy, it was really hard to kill her. It was really, really hard to kill her. So this changes Mercy a lot. And a lot of Mercy, high-ranking Mercy mains hate these changes. Anyways, Moira. Moira's ultimate cost has been reduced by 5%. Zenyatta's Orb of Destruction, so obviously his primary fire, ammo increased from 20 to 25. Massive, but it doesn't end there. They literally reworked the entire game. Season 3 map pools. Push, we got Queen, we got Coliseum still. We got the same ones for Push. Then we got a bunch of hybrid maps, a bunch of escort. We're bringing, for anyone who's been playing Overwatch 1, you guys know Numbani's coming back. Like they removed the map restriction. So every map that you remember and previously, as well as a new map, Antarctic Peninsula, is coming back. They're all here. Then there's a bunch of bug fixes. There's a bunch of more, just tons. Read the patch notes. Insane, massive changes coming to Overwatch. Then you add the new currencies coming back, or the old currencies coming back, the endorsements. I mean, it's just crazy how much change is insane. And that doesn't even count all the changes promised for Season 4 that basically rework ranked and a ton of other systems. Blizzard's moving in the right direction. I'm starting to trust them little by little. I'm ready to roast them the minute they do something stupid. I'll be here, but I'm excited. Let me know if you're excited down below.